everyone. Welcome to the story of the Chronotrix. Sorry. Okay. Anyway, this is the story of the Chronotrix. The Chronotrix, like other omnitrixes, was made by Azimuth, but it's not meant to preserve or protect life. It's meant to understand the species' history, you could say. Meant to understand history, you could say. Yeah. Okay. Basically, Asbeth was inspired by Paradox's ability to time travel, and thought that he could probably make something that can transform the user into a time traveler. Now, the time travel function isn't going to be accessed yet in this story, but there is a time travel function, similar to Master Control, you could say. Ben, like many other universes, Ben finds this. But anyway, back to what I was saying. He grabs some quartz crystals and puts it into the Chronotrix. But there was an unforeseen side effect with fusing the quartz crystals by putting the quartz crystals into the Chronotrix. It caused a malfunction in the alien DNA samples, causing them to look a lot different than how they would originally be. First, okay, before I continue with the story, I'll explain the aliens first. Gray matter. Gray matter was affected a bit. He's still intelligent, just not as intelligent as before. He's more or less like he's intelligent, just not as intelligent as he was before. Think of him on a level lower than Azimuth and Albedo, but higher than Bluke and Jadriba. Yeah. You could say that he's more or less average intelligence. But anyway, Gray matter was altered to be more like a cowboy, you could say. Why a cowboy? Because I find it funny. But just imagine cowboy gray matter going around places. But anyway, cowboy gray matter. I'll be dubbing him Deputy Gray Matter. I can't think of a good name. I can't think of something else. Like Deputy Gray Matter will work just fine for now. Anyway, Deputy Gray Matter, basically still Gray Matter, just not that smart and more prone to being quick drawing. More prone to quick draw. Oh, and little side note, he's got like a little gun. Well, not really a gun, more or less like a little it's not a gun, it's more like one of those little pop guns. I think that like shoots a little cork out. That's what he kinda has. I figured it'd be kinda funny. But anyway, the next is Surge. Surge is basically useless on his own. There's not really much of a difference between him and the Surge. Yeah, I say Surge and Surge, and yeah, that kinda gets confusing. Anyway, there's not much of a difference. He's still kinda useless, because he's basically just himself. So, Ben doesn't really use this one too much in combat. And then there's Shockrock, another alien from the reboot series, same as Surge. Hey, I said it right the first time. Okay. Anyway, Shockrock was more or less altered into like a knight, you could say. He could make shields, swords. Shockrock could basically like make constructs of weaponry, cages, barriers, shields, shoot laser beams, make giant boomerangs. Yeah, all that jazz. Anyway, Shock Rock's kind of yeah. Anyway, next alien is Gax. Gax is another alien from the reboot, and basically was kind of altered to be like a pirate. Yeah, pirate Gax. Basically, kind of think him like a Davy Jones. Like a, uh, I don't think Davy Jones. Who's that squid guy? Is it Davy Jones? I was never much of a Pirate of the Caribbean kind of fan. I was never much of a fan of that. Anyway, thinking like that. Oh, and side note, he just calls him Captain Squidbeard. Yeah, we'll go with that. Surge is still Surge. Shockrock is Sir Shock. Yeah, Sir Shock. Overflow. Basically, it's completely different from the original. The original Overflow shoots water at a hard shell. This Overflow's more like a volcano, you could say. He's made out of rock instead of having like a hard shell. And can shoot lava instead of water. He calls this guy Volcanion. Volcan. I was thinking of a name. Volcanion will work. He calls this guy Volcanion. Ben got, but there is a but he doesn't really use this one too often, mostly because of how dangerous it can be. Next up we have is Gut Rot. Now original Gut Rot can create gases of like has like a stomach that's made of but that's like a walking laboratory, and he can expel the stuff he makes as gas. Basically, this one has a bit of a mad scientist kind of jazz to him. He has like a little lab coat, has that little crazy look in his eyes and stuff like that. And this one kind of affects Ben's personality. Well, not the original, but this one affects Ben's personality. Make him a little bit crazier than normal. So Ben's a lot bit more cautious when he uses Professor Rot. Yeah, Professor Rot. And then we have Jury Rig. Jury Rig is basically he turns into a basically turns into let me think. There's a lot of history things I could go for. He turns into like one of those steam mechanics. Like he turns into like one of those engineers, like those like the steam one of those like steam engineers or something. Basically, he makes things like technological things, but he's not that good with like advanced tech. More it's like some of the olden tech. Ben Ben still has trouble using this one, but he finds some uses for him. And then we have Clockwork, who doesn't really change too much if I'm being honest. Clockwork can still do all the clockwork things, and considering Chrono Sapien, considering a Chrono Sapien like him doesn't change, like Maltruant didn't change like at all. So yeah, Clockwork's not gonna change. And then we got Alien X. I figured why not. Alien X again doesn't change. Nothing really different about him. He just has like orange accents to him. Instead of green. And Spitter. Spitter is Spitter's changed a bit. More's kind of like an appearance as well. He doesn't look like this. He looks a little different. He kind of has like spikes going all around his body. His body's a lot more ball-like, you could say. He's like one of those little landmines with the little spikes on them. You know, this was kind of inspired by Ink Tank's Ultimate Spitter. but he's got like more of a metallic body to him than a regular one, than a more squishy body. He has more of a metallic one instead of a squishy body that can inflate. He has to chart. He has to hold his breath instead of spitting it. He calls this one. He calls this one spit mine. Yeah, spit mine. Anyway, back to winning the Chronotrix. Oh, I think. Okay, back to the story. Now that I've explained all the aliens, back to the story. Anyway, the story kind of goes like a canon. He finds the Chronotrix. Where Ben finds the Chronotrix, and, okay, basically the first alien he turns into is Clockwork. He's a little confused and a little panicked. But then he realizes that nothing's really wrong with him. He's just kind of weird. He just kind of looks like a walking robot, which Ben thinks is pretty cool. So he's not really panicking too much. He just has some of his abilities. He doesn't really cause a forest fire because this isn't heat blast. It's more or less just like decays, petrifies the trees. You could say. I think. Yeah. Oh no! Wait. No, wait. I know it'd be really funny if he turns to overflow. If he turns into like Volcanion. Yeah, he turns into Volcanion and like spews lava everywhere, and then starts a forest fire like in the original. Yeah, I figured that'd be a lot more funny. Yeah, that'd be a lot more funny. So yeah, basically, yeah. And then Ben ends up, and then basically most of the story goes kind of like in canon. Basically, there's not very much of a difference. Ben's just a lot more smarter. It is that Ben is a lot. Ben is like a little smarter. He's still snarky, but he's a lot more reasonable. He still has his like snarky moments, but he's like a lot more reasonable, and not as impudent as and not as immature as and not as uh reckless as Prime Ben. So anyway, we get to the battle with Vilgax. He tries every alien at his disposal. Well, minus Alien X. What to say, instead of Alien X, he has he has forearms instead. I forgot to add forearms onto the Chronotrix. I'll probably add them later. But anyway, he turns into forearms, which basically is like a caveman. Turn into forearms, basically like a caveman, you could say. Man, Ben's not very too smart when he's in this form. He's more or less like just a caveman, but he knows his target, so he fights Vilgax, but he still ends up kind of losing. So he's still on the losing foot. That is until Vilgax ended up killing Grandpa Max and Gwen. In a rage, he turns into it. He accidentally activated. He turns into Alien X and ends up destroying Vilgax. So yeah, that's done. Vilgax ends up, but Ben tries to reason with Serena and Bellicus to bring back his loved ones. But unfortunately, they weren't really. But like in the original, Serena and Bellicus don't really listen. But he still turns. But then Paradox appears and detransforms Ben. Ben is still sulking about how he lost his family. Still sulking about how he lost it. About how he lost Grandpa Max and Gwen. He lost his whole family. Yeah, his mom and dad ended up getting killed by Vilgax too, so yeah, there's that. So Ben goes with Paradox. And basically, this Ben's kind of gonna be like a multiversal protector, you could say. And they're gonna be like a like a different version of Paradox, you could say. He's basically gonna be, let me think. He's basically gonna go around multiverses, like protecting them, fighting off different multiverses, fighting off like evil versions, basically. And he gives himself the name Ben times 10. And he makes sure no one has to suffer from. They make sure no one has to feel any pain, and make sure to stop time anomalies. So yeah, that's the story of the Chronotrix. I didn't really have much planned for the Chronotrix, but I could really use some ideas, maybe. Maybe some ideas. Leave your things down in the comments below. Your ideas down in the comments below. I might use them for like a story, like another story. Or maybe I could like set up Chronotrix Ben against like some of the other evil Omnitrixes, like the Chronotrix. Oh, that'd be fun. Chronotrix Ben versus Chronotrix Ben. That'd be a fun one. I probably could think of that. Anyway, I wish. Anyway, I I wish you all to goodbye, and I hope, and don't forget to leave a comment, and subscribe to my channel to really help me out here. I'm at 130 subs. I'm getting close to 200. I could really use your help, guys. Make sure to leave a like, comment, and subscribe. So, bye.